Yes, my G's, how are you guys all doing? Today I wanted to show you a call and response idea for a drum and bass track, or a jungle track, or it kind of works actually really well in sort of jump up as well, particularly, the old school jump up. Could work in Neurofunk too. Basically, I got this sort of inspiration from an old tune that I really like, which is called Casino by original Sin and Taxman, and it's a great tune. I love it, and I just wanted to show you guys the sort of call and response technique that you can use, and it's just basically using basses or leads and responding with vocals. Okay, so I've used for this video a couple of presets from my roast Measant. Yes, my roast Measant Vital Pack. And I've used one called Outflanked, and then I've used another, which is the Freeze Thaw, as a little fill towards the end. And so I'm using the Outflanked one, along with a break here. In this kind of fashion. And then what I'm doing is, in these sort of gaps, I'm going to respond, not with another lead, not with another bass, but with a vocal sample, a vocal one-shot. Now, which vocals you use obviously makes a big difference, because you want vocals that add to the vibe, that give you that character. I've just only spent a couple of minutes searching for vocals on Freesound, so I love using Freesound. It's a great website, and I just found a couple of samples on there. Basically, we got this sort of kung fu shouting, and there's a nice file with a few different shouts inside it, and I just picked out a couple of these kung fu shouts, and we've put some echo on them. And then we've got a little another sample I found on Freesound, which is just some talking, just some narrative, and it's a bit random, you'll hear it. And then we go to our little lead at the end for the last part. So anyway, let me play the loop, and then I'll discuss it a little bit more. So that's the concept basically, as you kind of see without the break, for example.
You're so reckless.
Yeah, so it's just a great call and response idea that I've never sort of discussed on this YouTube channel before. That's why I wanted to make this video, because if you're struggling for ideas for tracks, it's a sort of formula that you could use to create something new and cool, something that's a little bit more vocal heavy, vocal dominant. So the cool thing is, having these gaps is you can, as you see I've done for the whole sort of first 8 bars, it's a different sound in each gap. That's kind of the main concept. It's not to use the same vocal one shot 4 times, but to actually use sort of 4 different sounds. And obviously my last one here is a lead kind of fill. It's not the vocal, but I've got 3 different vocals, so it kind of just tells more of a story, So this first one, it's just 2 different types of screams, and then they've just got a nice dotted delay on them. That's it. And then the second one down here, it's just this sort of bit of narrative talking about you're so reckless, something like this.
You're so reckless.
Yeah, and that's sort of a nice setup for the lead, because you're kind of almost expecting another vocal shout for the third part, because you've had 2 in a row already. So for the next one, you're kind of thinking there's going to be another vocal shout, right? But then it's different here, because it's like speech monologue instead. And then the fourth part, switching things up just in the whole pattern in general, with a longer sort of lead line. So I think that sounds really great. What do you guys reckon? I mean, when I say it sounds really great, I mean like conceptually, it sounds like a good formula, doesn't it? And as I mentioned, I've only spent about 5 minutes putting together this loop using the free sounds from Freesound and using a couple of my presets, the outflanked and the freeze thaw from Defiance. So yeah, you know, I always do videos about call and response using just basses and leads and going back and forth between those, but I've never really talked about this because it's something that I really like to do. I've done it on some other tracks, maybe not to such a degree as this. I've definitely done it in a few tunes that I never released, which were really sick, but I just wasn't happy with the mix down on them yet, you know, so I never ended up releasing them. But I've definitely done a similar kind of technique on tracks throughout my production career, whether they've been released or not. And it's a really fun way to write music because you can just go get really detailed about, you know, thinking about what vocal one shots you want to use and creating a kind of vibe and atmosphere through them. And yeah, obviously you have that benefit of a really great contrast between the basses, the lead, and the vocal, rather than having like two, you know, similar bass sounds that are call and responsing. He's saying, no, oh, hey, we're just going to go switch to just only vocal. And here I've left the drums running like the whole time. So that's sort of the drums are the only thing that's tying everything all together, you know? Like it is the consistency of the drums that allows for this to work because everything sits on them. But you could use other ways to tie things together. You could have like you could have a sub bass that's still running underneath when the vocals are playing, for example, to like kind of give you a bit more bass during the vocals. Just a really simple sine wave in the background. And then you could also put some things in over the top of everything else, like some sort of really long sort of delayed effects or some sort of delayed like synth lead splashes, that kind of stuff. Maybe I'll do another video where I talk about sort of additional layers you can put on top of your tracks if you want more going on and more depth and you're struggling for like element ideas. I could maybe do something like that. Let me know in the comments if that will help. But yeah, this is just a super short video today, just because I've never sort of discussed this concept before, and maybe it's something that you want to try out yourself if you haven't really got any good ideas at the moment for composing a new beat. I would recommend try something like this. Do a sort of half and half bass / vocal kind of track, you know, like in this kind of vibe. I think it sounds sick. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, my G's. I hope it was just a little bit of inspiration for you today. Leave a like and a comment down below. And yeah, check out the other links in the description. Got one-on-one production sessions available, mixing and mastering work available via email. I've got a great community over on Patreon as well. Come and join my Discord if you want to be really sort of at the heart of all the action. And yeah, finally, check out the presets on my website if you want some fresh new sounds to work on in your next project. We've got this brand new Vital preset pack, Defiance, plus loads of other great packs on there for Vital, Serum, Phase Plant, and Current. All right, thank you very much. That's it from me today. More from me very soon. Much love.